break this in front of the chief secretary, get a good name or sometimes bad name, and get this name. So 3 years we had a wonderful time in creating a network of 70,000 self-help groups in that one district.
70,000 separate groups.
Luckily, the person who was doing in Salem was my first staff. When I was having the first organization, I had a good rapport, so we could help them. So we all 3 districts. It was a very good teamwork. That is how self-help group promotion, network, everything has come. I was in the kind of one of the key trainers and kind of different committees of the women development group. The self-help groups was basically thrift and savings. Thrift is if you are having your husband or parents are giving 100 rupees, in that how much you could save. So keep some money as a savings before you spend. That is thrift. Then how do you convert thrift into savings? Don't keep the money in here, etc. Go to the bank. Have the habit of collecting and keep this money. One person may save 10 rupees a week. If there are 20 people, 200 rupees. This 200 rupees can either go to the bank or it can be rewarded amongst you as a loan. So how do you keep the book? What do you discuss? If you take it in, how do you repay that? What can you do with this 200 or 2,000, whatever it is? These are the things, so we have developed lots of manuals, training programs, systems, etc. So thrift savings, then it becomes a microcredit, then it becomes a micro enterprise, then it becomes a group. So this is how from late 80s, still now, Government of Tamil Nadu has pioneered self-help groups, and it has gone to other states. Like Kerala, it is called Kuppusamy. From Tamil Nadu, it has Andhra, Velugu, so various projects. So that has given the confidence level of the women. And now I used to see that when women come for a meetings, where do they meet? They are afraid of their menfolk. They used to chavadi, school, etc. And the menfolk would always tease. Pottakodi kuvi, this is a. But after some time, we thought to tell them, Pottakodi mutta pottam 7, oru po 7. So we said, what is special? Hen can lay eggs. Cock can only.
Rooster will only cockle.
So you have to work together. So these people who have been teasing women, I had seen during the 2 years time, the husband bring her wife in the cycle, dropping a meeting, or bring her in the cycle, putting her in the bus. When she comes late, wait for the bus, stand to pick her back. And she could take care of the children, like feeding the children, and has gone to the extent of washing the wife's clothes. In a sense of confidence, she's earning. Why not I help? She's my wife. When she's washing my clothes, why not I? This kind of confidence, mutual, and it creates a big support for the women. And women, when they are afraid of going to the bank, they could go to the bank, they could ask, they could make the minute, they could sign, and they have got an identity. If 10 women go together in the same saree, they cannot, they have to give a preference for them. And I know a woman or the women leaders even could motivate the chief minister. One of the chief minister went to one of the self-help groups meeting. He said, what is the strength of your self-help group? One lady unmuting in the school up and said, we made the chief minister come to our meetings. Without invitation. So then the chief minister realized what is the power of self-help. Then they started doing the political issues. So social empowerment started with women, and with their saving, it has become economic empowerment.
Yes.
And when the economic empowerment has come, political empowerment, they could take a stand. If they are there, they will take it's a disturbance for us. They could see how to eliminate the NGOs. So this process now come, and in the process, each district, each block, SHGs are made a federation. But unfortunately, there is no funds, enough funds of the government they have to change the style of functioning according to the grant they get it from the union government or those days IFAT funds was there for 15 years. Now it is a National Rural Livelihood Mission, National Urban Livelihood Mission, etc. They have got different concepts. So it is twisting and going. Now, unfortunately, when the women are so empowered, government started dumping money in the name of group loan. You take money, you do anything, but you keep your political identity with us. And now, self-help group, the women groups, when they take a loan, the recovery rate was 97%. So the banks are so happy to lend to the women groups. And women, those days we encourage them to make something. Now, many people make something, many people do something, that is buying and selling. And some people do their family business. Anyway, family business fine. Buying, selling, fine, but it's not consistent. That's a concern. Now, 2010, where is the Women Development Office? Have you any idea? You are in Chennai?
2010.
Next to Vallur Total, there is a Mother Teresa center is there. That center was supposed to be a marketing center, which was encourage people like me in 2000. Then before 2000, there are various schemes. Do you remember IRDP? Do you remember PMRY? IRDP scheme, Integrated Rural Development Program, where they give a loan, 50% subsidy. It is a front-end subsidy. That means you borrow 10,000 rupees, your 5,000 rupees are written off immediately. If you give only 5,000, it's okay. So many people started misusing the money. It's a front-end. If you buy a cow, it's a well-known story. The same cow will be taken to 5 different houses. I took a loan and I bought a cow. I go to the next house, I bought a cow. I saw a cow, it's okay. So 50% is eaten away. This 50% is eaten away by the client, by the bank officer and the government officer. It was widely known. Then they realized, my goodness, this needs to be evaluated. So during 97, 96, 98, government was reviewing the whole thing. When they are reviewing the whole thing, we had the opportunity of interacting with government of India people, seeing the self-help groups, growth, etc. Then they invited us for quite a few times to review how do we modify this scheme. Then different scheme has been introduced in the year 99, 2000 called Swarna Jayanti Swarojgar Yojana. SDSY is back-ended subsidy. So if you take a loan of 10,000 rupees, you must repay 10,000 rupees. Then you will get your subsidy money. To begin, they say you get 7,000, you will get 3,000. Then it is again said you must pay the full amount, you get your subsidy. So that was SDSY. Unfortunately, when they finalized the SDSY, there is no provision for supporting the NGOs, only government to government. We pushed for direct funding to NGOs, but that was not done. So the officer said, all your efforts, we thank you for your efforts, but we are not able to help. I said, okay, as long as it is helpful. And that money, first year, in the year 2000, 2001, government Commissioner of Rural Development had money. They want to spend money for a marketing center. So we scouted a place, we identified that place and we gave it. It took 10 years for them to build. Now the Women Development Corporation office is there, Urban Livelihood Mission office is there, Rural Livelihood Mission office is there, and every month they conduct an exhibition on this.
In Vallur.
Next, adjacent to Vallur. That is how the women groups come and market their products. And again we help them to organize how do you structure this program, etc. and we are in order to do it. So we are so happy, directly or indirectly, we are supporting the emergence of self-help groups, socio-economic empowerment of the women in Tamil Nadu. And I also had the opportunity of being invited by Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra to visit the self-help groups and the district level office and the This is on the one side. On the other side, through SIPA, We have been working with several, started with NGOs, then we went to people's cooperatives, then went to unorganized women's collectives. Like collective, we have 20 people here. We make this one, how can you help us? So our basic idea is to take them to the market, not to do the entire market. So he said domestic market will give you, handhold you to go to the exhibition. Local exhibition, district exhibition, state level exhibition, even national level exhibition. You must find your mark. We will help you to do the base work for you. In the export market, we will do it on a consultative basis. So when the export order comes, because why we take up the export market? For export there are lots of formalities, procedures, bank formalities, documentation, money behind the buyer. You have to write to them the way they expect. Not all the buyers are supportive. So we took the responsibility of that. But at the same time we said domestic market, you must face it. You must realize it. You must stand. So we help you with the costing pricing. We help you with the value addition. We help you with the packing and presentation. So that was going, this was going on the other side. Slowly from two, we have been exporting about 30-40 international organizations. More than half of them are fair trade buyers. Like SIPA, world over, there are organizations which import. They are soft in a sense. They does not, if there is a 1% defect, sometimes they throw you out. But they tolerate. If there is a deadline, if you cross the deadline, many commercial people throw you out, but they tolerate. If there is a price raise in between, they understand, they are willing to give. This is a different commercial buyers, they are not giving you. And
flexibility.
And when you give the order, we get 50% advance from the buyers. That advance money is given to the producers so that they need not go for borrowing money for their working capital. They can use their working capital, this as a working capital, to buy raw material, wages, etc. So these were the some of things. So at some stage we are doing up to 3 crores. And every week shipment like this is to go. But as a whole we took a policy, SIPA will not produce anything. Then it becomes my child, your child. So he said, your child is our child, so let's work together. But after working for 20 years, we realized we can do a combination products. If this group does this one, this group this one, if you could combine them, you can make some other products. So whether we can find a group to do that or we'll make them to do that. So we take responsibility for that. So this is how we have been working for the last, this is the 37th year, 86 to 37th year. We are managing, but since 2009, Government of India has brought a peculiar act. If you are a charity, you should not do business even to support your activities. You will be treated as a business and you will lose your charity status. So we do not want to lose our charity status. So we divided charity, service part, charity organization, business part, other organization. So charity like Dore, we have our TOLA, ETG, etc., FCRA. We work on training, capacity building, education, etc. Business part we do this as a business. So we keep this as a public trust. Again, any profit it goes back to the government as charity. So since 2009, charity does the support services and the business does the business part. And finally, what we see between 80s, 90s and now, any group which is coming, there are youngsters like you who are there associated with the family. They could play with the computers, mobiles, understand social media and learn marketing. So many groups over a period of time, each one now almost everybody is having Group A. Everybody is having GPay. And everybody is having a WhatsApp. We cannot say she is illiterate. She knows last 3 numbers, 2 numbers, she remembers, she can call. So many things, what an educated person may not know, she knows. So the women group are really aware. Indians are become confident to their business by themselves. So our activity has become from primary to secondary level. So we are now thinking how to kind of encourage group rather than directly exporting. Because the export market for crops is also becoming less for a number of reasons because the European economy. During 2000, between 2005 and 15, when the world economy is tumbling and falling and struggling, the Indian economy luckily is so strong thanks to Manmohan. He was the finance minister. That strength on this case. Many banks, Western countries, don't bank. Whereas in India, is good. So the world market is going down. It is going in a different direction, whereas the Indian market is boosting. So any product that we do, the market is in India. So why don't you strengthen the Indian market? Number one. Number two, the youngsters are so conscious. So we want to finally tell you there are 10 principles of fair trade which talks about creating opportunity for the marginalized. So what is fair trade? You have to, it is a social enterprise. It is an enterprise with a difference. Social enterprise does not say you should not make profit. It says only thing you should not make dirty profit. You should not export. So creating opportunity for the marginalized, then transparency and accountability. Since you are dealing with the public, poor, you need to be transparent and accountable. Then only they will build confidence. Otherwise, then fair trade practices, how you produce, how you need to follow, then fair payment, you should give a fair wages for what they produce. Then there is no child labor or forced labor. Then no discrimination, gender equity and freedom of association. Because one of the first things we started pushing it, gender equality. Equal work, equal pay. And no child labor. Women are so happy now. I am so happy to see even in the rural areas, struggling parents send their girl children to school because their IQ is much better. And it's very, very difficult to say dropouts. There are there, but it's very, very less. So children are studying, especially women children, girl children are studying very well. And what will be the hard work? Now you saw the children, women children are excelling very good. So they could understand their concentration much better. Then the next one is good working conditions. It is not one toilet for the chief executive which is nice and dirty toilet like the transport. If you are traveling in the bus station, you have to go. How much we suffer, we know, especially women. So the toilet has to be clean. That's how now the motels are coming. Motels is a good toilet, attracts lots of people. You go for a toilet, then you go for a walk, then you enter a coffee shop, you get coffee, then you walk out, there is a craft shop, you buy something and go. So the toilet is the main thing, not the coffee shop. Now once you know the toilet is good, you ensure that on your way, this bus or this car stops there. Then promoting fair trade. Then finally the last thing that has come was environment. Because all these years, for many years, we did not bother about environment. We are taken as granted from 50s, 60s, etc. Whether it is water, whether it is transport, left and right we start using. Now it is creating income. There is a night saying, when I was a child, I was drinking water from the river. When I was schoolboy, I was drinking water from the tap. What are we doing now?
Bottles.
And in another 10 years, it could be tablets.
Yeah.
You will not be drinking water, you will be eating tablets.
Tablets.
So water, the same way environment. Now we see the summer. Those days we say only summer is during May. Khatri, that 3 weeks. Now it is from early April. And in Chennai, I used to always say, you are welcome, we will give a warm welcome or warmer welcome during summer. And from mid-March to mid-September we'll have a off summer. Now summer, not even winter. If it comes, say a celebration. So I am so happy again to say that out of this time, I was associated since the early stages as part of the global movement, partly responsible in bringing this into line. This happened during 91 to 94. And those years, every 2 years, IFAT, it's called now WFTO, World Fair Trade Organization. It is called for the last 10 years. Earlier it is called International Federation for Alternate Trade. First conference was held in Dublin. I was there. I could see the clear face of buyer and seller. What are the buyer wants? Says 5 plus 3 is 9. You must say yes if you want your orders. Buyer says this is not good. You say keep quiet. It says very good. You should say yes. I realized this is not the case. It needs partnership. And I was one who was also discriminated among the buyers for some peculiar reasons. Then we came and discussed. We took serious effort for 2 years. First conference was in Dublin. Second was held in Philippines, Manila. So we created a policy note from SIPA among all the South Indian crowds, groups, etc. We presented what fair trade means to us, alternate trade means to us. So that has changed the whole concept. Between 93 and 97, 95 the conference was held in USA. I presented a paper, and 97 we had a conference in Ooty. There these 9 principles have become official principles of fair trade. The 10th one was added in 2001, environment. So we are so happy, and now fair trade is not a kind of owned by any particular trade. Whatever you do, you have to be fair consumer. From fair trade to fair consumer. So I always put a question, or would you not like to be fair? Looking fair?
Yes.
Okay, you would like to be looking fair. But would you like to be fair?
Yes.
And then
What do you
rather
mean
being
by fair?
fair.
Looking fair is different, being fair is different.
Exactly.
So for example, first of all, you have your shirt. Question, who has made it? Where does it come from? Try to go back and find out the root. Whether everything was good there. Or question, why not I get something different? We know that to make one t-shirt or one shirt, about 32 different procedures to go through. From the raw seed to the shirt, that dress that you are wearing. Is everything fair? Exactly. So you started questioning, is it done fairly? Or can it be done fairly? So you are forcing the business community to go to the fair source. When you know the fair trade source, you share your interest with the other members. So as a consumer, you are the, as Gandhi said, we are not dependent on you are not dependent on us, anybody is dependent on the consumer. And today, 52% of the Indian population is youngsters. And India has 17% of the global population. So we could be the change makers. So friends, encourage youth to question, ponder, do some research. And whatever you do, go deeper and involve. And see whatever you do, how does it impact you? Whether it impacts the poor person, how does it impact the rich person? You have your concern for the poorest. So stretch your hand, show your concern, support. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. So you don't have to wait for the following question because you by default know in the thought process. We call it cascading effect. So the thoughts, there is a cascading effect. It will come automatically. So one after the other.